Hello, my name is Keshwani. This Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own one already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. I think I finally got it down on day number 12. Let's turn to page number 421. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 421. I have to say that to get that out of my system, you understand? 421, day number 12. Let's take a look at it. Number 6. Number 6, they have classified that question as a level 3 question. So we'll see what's going on. We are given here a parallelogram. P, Q, R and S. This we are told is X degree, this we are told is Y degree. QR is parallel to PS, that's how we know it's parallelogram. What's the value of 2 times X plus Y? Well, listen, because of the fact that this is a parallelogram, if this is X degree, the opposite angle is also X degree. That's the first thing we have to understand, that the opposite angles are equal. This is also Y degree. So they're looking for 2 times X plus Y. In other words, they're looking for the sum of all of these 4 angles. What do we know about the sum of the 4 angles in any quadrilateral, let alone a parallelogram? This one doesn't need to be parallelogram. The only reason we needed to know that it was a parallelogram is because of the fact that opposite angles, we have to know that they are equal. So if this is X, that one is X, and this is Y, this is Y. Therefore, when they're talking about 2 times X plus Y, they're talking about sum of all 4 angles. That's why we needed to know this is the parallelogram. But the part that we're about to discuss does not just apply to parallelogram, it applies to any 4-sided picture. And that part is this: the sum of angles of any quadrilateral is 360. Sum of the angles in any quadrilateral is 360. It doesn't have to be any particular kind of 4-sided picture. It could be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be a parallelogram, or it could be any funky looking thing. For example, if you draw a 4-sided picture here, that won't do it. Oh, it would do it actually. There you go, that's a 4-sided picture. The sum of the angles in this 4-sided picture, in this quadrilateral, is 360. That's how it is. That's how we arrange our universe. The sum of the angles in a triangle is 180. Sum of the angles in 360 is sum of the angles in a quadrilateral is 360. If somebody asks you why, the answer to that is how we define our universe. It is, a word comes to my mind, we'll learn this in a second, I'm going to put it here. A nice vocabulary word just comes to my mind, we'll learn this thing in a second, okay? So it's 360, take my word for it, it's 360. Now, if you want an intuitive reason behind it as to why it is 360, there is a very simple reason for it. A quadrilateral is nothing but a union of 2 triangles. A quadrilateral is nothing but a union of 2 triangles. For example, this quadrilateral, you see there, is just a union of two triangles. We can break it up like this. There you see 2 triangles, or we could have broken up like this. We could have broken up like this. Again, it's a union of 2 triangles. And since the sum of the angles in one triangle is 180, 2 triangles will make it 360. So therefore, the answer to this question is very straightforward. What is 2 times X plus Y? It's just 360 for crying out loud. It's the sum of the angles in a quadrilateral. All they're asking you is the sum of the all 4 angles in this parallelogram, in this quadrilateral, is 360. Again, why is it 360 if somebody asks you? Because that's how we define our universe. It is something that's taken as a fact. Something that is taken as a fact, something that one does not argue with. Nobody's going to come to you and ask you why is there 60 seconds in a minute. But that's how we define our universe. Why? It would have been more logical to have 100 seconds. It would have been more logical to have 100 hours in a day. The calculation and all the things will be simpler. But for some strange and inexplicable reason, we have defined our universe to have 24 hours. The amount of time it takes to go around for it to rotate, for Earth to rotate, we could have easily broken up into 100 parts. Why 24 parts? Why 60 minutes in an hour? Why 3 feet in 1 yard? Why not 5 feet? Do you understand? Because this is just the way we define our universe. And that is called an axiom. An axiom is something that is true by definition. Something that is true by definition. Nobody asks anybody to prove an axiom. So if somebody asks you why the sum of the angles in a quadrilateral 360, you would simply answer to that person, because it is axiomatic. It is axiomatic. It is just how we defined it. It is axiomatic. If you want to learn this word in more detail, even though I just already told you exactly what it means and so forth, but there might be some other stuff that I cannot think of right now. And if you're interested in learning this particular word and perhaps some other words to improve your vocabulary, you will find this particular word. Just type in vocabulary, day 38. Vocabulary day 38, and you will find this word, and as I said, along with some other words that will help you raise your score in the reading portion of the exam. Let's move on then. Next page. I'm taking too long. Oh, next question rather. I'm still stuck on the first question. Number 7. Question number 7. The average of the three positive integer x, y, and z is 12. Well, the average of three numbers is 12. And how do you find the average of three numbers? You simply add them up and divide by 3. And we are told that that equals 12. Well, if that equals 12, then those three numbers must equal 36. Because 36 is the only number, which, when divided by 3, is going to give us 12. So now we know that their sum is 36. And they're simply asking us, before I read the rest of it, it says, when the greatest of these numbers is subtracted from the sum of the other two, the result is 4. Now, before we worry about that, let's first take care of this equation here. Before we worry about that, let's take care of this part. They're looking for which of the following correctly expresses the information that is given to us. The correct answer must contain this equation, x plus y plus z equals 36. Is there anything that we can cross out? But there you go. A, B, C, D, and E. C is nonsensical. C says that x plus y plus z is 24. It is nonsense. It's not the correct answer. Neither is D. A, B, and E are the only possible candidates. Now we do the second part. In the second part, they tell you that x is smaller than y and y is smaller than z. In other words, they're telling us the z is the largest one. Z is the greatest one. And now we read the second sentence. When the greatest of this integer is subtracted from the sum of the other two, so sum of the other two would be x plus y. X plus y. When the greatest of the integer is subtracted from the sum of the other two, we get 4. That's the second equation. So that was the first equation here, the fact that their sum has to be 36. That was the first equation, right here. And now the second equation is this part. So we're already down to A, B, and E. Let's see what we can cross out. E says x times y. That's not it. And B says, another nonsensical thing, it says x plus y minus z equals 8. That's not what we have here. X plus y minus z equals 4. It's not B. The answer is A. The answer is A. I had planned on doing the next page also, but I think I'm going to stop here right now, because I spent too much time talking about the vocabulary part. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.